Good morning. April 29th, I believe, April 30th. One of those days. I really have a hard time keeping up with days. And the time, 6:24 in the morning right now. Days and times just really ain't that important to me anymore. Just something that I just don't care too much about. It doesn't hold any value to me. I normally just go with the flow, live in the moment. It's mainly how I live my life. That's really kind of how I've always lived my life, is in the moment anyway. About the only thing that makes sense to me. But I was going to speak a little bit this morning on my take on spirituality and religion, and I guess some differences between spirituality and religion. Safe haven, by the way. Hope everybody's having a good day or good morning wherever you're at. I hope you're enjoying it. Try not to worry so much. Try not to let too many things have control of you, especially things that you have no control over. So I guess, most people that get into a religion, they're pretty much brought up into a religion. Religion is very old. It's been around for a very long time. And most people, they seek a religion or go into a religion because that's where their parents started from, and the parents before them, and so on and so on. And I guess, if you're speaking of the Bible and Jesus walking the earth, Jesus the man, not God, the ruler of the universe. But, they speak in the Bible where Jesus, he went from city to city and speaking of love and truth and peace, and doing his healings and his miracles. And I guess that some individual out there at some time or another thought that, well, let me follow in his footsteps. I've been reading the Word quite a bit now for a while. Every day when I get up and before I go to bed, I'll read a chapter. And I can see that when you start reading the Word and you start seeing that the great things that Jesus, the man, has done, I would think that someone would probably want to follow in his footsteps. So I'm assuming, and I'm not 100% certain, obviously, because I'm not that old. So I haven't been around for years and thousands of years. So somebody probably thought it was a good idea to start, preaching. Maybe somebody started speaking like me, maybe. And I'm not putting myself in that category, so please don't think that. But I'm just saying that. And somebody thought what they were saying was great, was good. It's not negative. It's not bad. And started getting a following. And I'm pretty sure that's probably how maybe religion came about. So I feel that a lot of people that get into a religion and get into that part of the religion, or however you want to look at it, they've probably been beating their heads against the wall for such a long time, and dead end after dead end, and they don't know what to do. So they'll seek a man, and a man that's speaking the truth, as they put it, speaking the word, guiding them. So these people that go into a religion, I guess that they just don't feel like what what they're doing is they can do on their own. They need to be led or guided, let's say, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. Some people out there need to be, and it's so obvious, especially this day and time. It's so obvious that people have to be led. They have to be told what to do. They just don't know what to do, and they need someone else to guide them. And they'll reach out to an individual, or a man, or a woman, whatever the case may be, and they'll find this organization, a religion. And there's so many religions out there. It's really crazy. All these different religions out there. That should tell you something anyway. You know, which religion is the right religion? Which religion do you get into that's gonna send you to heaven? That's the question. So all you can do is follow your heart and your intuition, and you go into a religion. I'm not going to speak on any religion, and if it's not for you, if it just doesn't seem right for you, you get out of that religion, and then you seek another religion, and that religion just doesn't seem to be right for you, so you seek another religion. Eventually, you get into the religion, and you're like, well, this religion seems like this is what I want. And most of the people, because there's only one gospel. In the Bible, they speak on only one gospel. All religions teach the gospel. They're not speaking out of anything else, and they're not preaching from anything else. They're interpreting it differently than everybody else. Different rules and regulations. You know, it can be confusing. So, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. It's early in the morning. So you seek in different religion. You find one, and it seems to be the right one. And most people, it's funny because most people and I was brought up in religion. I was raised in it. I was born in it. And I saw how it worked. I wasn't one of those fanatic types. Nothing against that. I'm not speaking bad about that. My dad wasn't in the church. My mom was. So I was kind of drugged both ways. I wasn't close to neither one of my parents, but I had a taste of both worlds. And I can't necessarily say that I followed after my dad in his world, and I can't necessarily say I followed after my mom in her world, but I got a taste of both worlds, and I kind of just did my own thing. I was raised with some morals. I wasn't a bad individual. I didn't go around treating people bad. Of course, I was born as a Heoka empath, or an empath, and I've seen things since I was a child, things that just are not normal. So I more or less did my own thing. I was led by my own self. I always went by my own rules. That's the only thing that made sense to me. I never really put much trust and faith in man. Never have. I was brought up to not trust man. And I'm not speaking bad about my parents. And heaven forbid if my mom sees this video. She is still alive. Dad's passed away years ago. I'm sorry, Mom, I still love you. But, you know, I wasn't brought up to depend on my parents for love and support. If you cannot turn to those that you're supposed to turn to for love and support and trust, then you are taught to not do that for anyone. If you can't love those or trust those that are supposed to love you and respect you and show you trust, then who do you turn to? So I was taught not to do that, to not trust man. So I went by my own rules. I went by the way I felt things should be. And I've always believed in God. Always believed in God. That's the one thing I always did believe in, was God. So most people that get into a religion, and they find the religion for them, it's because, most of the time, it's because they found a family. They found a group of people that they can relate to. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the religion or the type of religion. It's just the group of people that's in that religion. They found a good group of people, a fellowship. Most people get into religion because of the fellowship. They found a nice family that they've been seeking for. It doesn't really have to do with God. God is always there. He's always inside of us. He speaks to us all the time. We just need to pay attention. And I'm not speaking bad against religion whatsoever, but like I said, some people feel like they need to be led by this organization, and they found a nice family to get into. And you get into this religion. In my case, the religion I got into had a lot of rules and regulations. If you didn't obey and abide by these laws or these rules, you were subject to go to hell, or even kicked out of that religion. Some religions will remove you from that, and that's terrible. That's wrong, and I don't agree with that, and I don't see how anybody can see that as holy and godly. So you get into a religion, they start to mold you in the way that they feel that you need to be. Some religions say that women cannot wear pants, they can't wear jewelry, they can't wear makeup. All trivial stuff, all things that have no value to you. It's just part of the fleshly world that's going to dwindle and fade away when you pass. The flesh will die and rot, and those materialistical things that you're wearing is not important whatsoever. I understand that you want to look holy and you want to represent yourself in this world as someone who is holy. You know, we have children, and we send those children off in the world, and how they act in the world represents us as parents. If they act up and cut up, then that makes us look bad. That makes us look like, well, we're not doing a very good job as parents. The same with God. If we go out into the world, because God is our Father, He is the main Father, He is the ultimate Father of everyone. And if we go out into the world and act like a bunch of idiots and act angry and mean and treat people bad, that's not very good representation of God, our Father. It doesn't make Him look very good. So I understand you want to go out into the world and you want to be good representation for God, but you don't have to, wear skirts all the time and not cut your hair and not wear jewelry. God is inside of you, and that light that shines inside you from God is very bright, and people will see that. People will know there's something different about you. You don't have to, especially those who are sensitive to energy. You're already drawn to that. You're already seeing that. You can already see that. Other people are blind to that, and you don't have to be that way. So you get into the religion, and they give you a bunch of rules and regulations. And now, if you're not following their rules, you're subject to go to hell. Now, there's fear. There's fear involved. You're living your life pretty much on eggshells now. You have to really be careful how you're living your life. And you could almost get caught up in that and almost have a holier than thou type demeanor. You could almost think that you're better than everybody else. What's that called? Vain? Being vain? That's not very godly. So you get in this religion, and you'll get these people that have come into the religion off the street, finding their religion, finding their family, and These people may look rough. They may not meet the standards of that religion. And automatically people in that church are starting to judge now, which is it's almost like another acceptable sin for religion, because it is a natural thing for people to start to judge, especially in church. Well, this guy's got tattoos, he's got a beard, long hair, it's in a ponytail, he must not be a godly person. See, there's that judging, that outer appearance that people are caught up in. And it's wrong. It's not how it's supposed to be. That's not what's meant to be. What matters is what's in your heart and how pure your soul is. That's what matters. So, spirituality. Most people that are in a religion are miserable people, considering what I just said. They can be pretty miserable. You're living your life in fear. That's not how it's supposed to be. Not everybody. Some people are very comfortable in their existence, in their religion. And that can be scary in itself, because you could be misled. So, spirituality and is another part, almost kind of like a religion. So, the religion is, I've lost my train of thought again. My mind is all over the place this morning. So, what a beautiful morning. Alright, now I'm getting myself distracted. So, I'm hoping I'm making some sense here. So, these people that are living their life on pins and needles, especially the new converts and the new people in their religion, they're living their life in fear now. They have to be careful of what they say and how they present themselves. They do not want to be subject to going to hell. I understand living a good life, living a good holy life, living by the commandments that God has given us. Not hard. That's not hard at all. The 10 Commandments are very easy to live by. Those were God's main laws. Then you've got your man's laws, which is not how it's supposed to be. We pretty much want to go by our convictions. If you feel that smoking a cigarette is not good for you and good for your spirit, then don't do it. That's God's way of saying, hey, you're not going to go to hell for it. I'm sorry, that's silly. But it's not very good representation for God if you're smoking a cigarette, in your eyes, if that's what you think. Or if you're talking about God and you're cussing like a sailor, that's not very good representation for God either. So there's the conviction things that we're talking about, or I was speaking about. So, wow, I didn't realize this was going to take this long. But anyway, I'm sorry if I'm rambling. So you could be living on pins and needles. I mean, you could, like, it's a very rough life. You get up and you're like, well, Lord help me. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I don't sin and then go to hell. So a lot of misery could be in religion. And it's funny because you'll be in this religion, but something still just seems off. There's just something doesn't seem right. Why am I so miserable? I don't want to be this way. And now you're searching again. It's almost like something's not right, and you're searching again. And in my case, a lot of misery. I was very miserable growing up. I had a lot of negativity that I was hanging on to. Religion didn't help. Even though I wasn't a very religious person, but I was in church. I did grow up in church, and I was in and out of church my whole life. And even with the misery that I had, it just didn't seem to cure it. And it took one rough moment in my life to put me in a downward spiral, and I found spirituality or the spiritual awakening. And what that does, it helps wash away your negativities from your soul that you've been hanging on to, all the fears and all the doubts and all the negativity. That's what spirituality does. So spirituality is you and God. And religion is you and man and God. It's a one-on-one relationship with God. You don't have to reach out to find God. God is already inside you. You don't need to find an organization to find God. God is already inside you. He's already there. You get into religion and they baptize you and wash away your sins. You get into spirituality, you get baptized by your soul. So you're washing away your negativities from your soul. It's just cleansing your whole soul. And you're following God instead of man now. And you do what you feel like you need to do. I will speak more on spirituality in another video. I've already spoken before about spirituality in other videos. I just feel that there's a lot more to it. These videos that I do are right off the top of my head. I'm not reading anything. I haven't read anything prior. Well, I did read something prior to this video, and that was the Bible. A lot of confusion in religion. But you have to find you have to find your path. You have to find your right path. And what you feel is right for you. And what your heart is telling you and what God is telling you. Just be careful when you get into a religion. Make sure that they are preaching the gospel and that you are getting into it for the right reason. There are so many different interpretations to the Bible, so many different religions. You're asking yourself, well, which religion is the right religion? And that's the question. Which religion is the right religion? It's the one that you feel is right for you. Some people, I guess, are searching for a family, that spiritual family. And that's not really how religion works. That's not how spirituality works. So you do what you do. You do what you feel is right. You pray, you fast, whatever the case may be. And just keep praying. Just keep searching. I hope you find what you're looking for. All I can say is just keep praying for it. I hope you guys enjoy your day. I will speak again another day on spirituality and the difference between that and religion. I did want to give a little bit about religion and how religion works. And most people already know, and some people don't know. I just don't want you to get lost. I don't want you to get caught up in that. Hope everybody has a good day. Hope you liked the video, and be blessed and be safe. Peace and love.